If the cook has tattoos, that food is going to be bussin'. It's going to be fabulous.
Some thoughts probably should not be said out loud, but I recorded mine. Hey guys, it's Mara and welcome back to the podcast where I share my thoughts on the internet with all of you. And today I am losing my voice and I'm stuffy. There's always a problem. Anyway, lately I have been working a lot. I am so tired. I'm actually recording this and then I have to go to school and then I have to work 2 different jobs tonight. Yay! Okay. Anyway, one of my jobs is a restaurant job. And I just gotta say, the people suck. Everything sucks. So here's an episode on just like horror stories from the restaurant, okay? I'm gonna tell you some of my like worst experiences in the restaurant, and then I found some petty customers on Reddit, and I gotta read them to you guys. So first off, I need to say that I think that I think that restaurant etiquette should be taught in schools. Restaurant etiquette, because you'd be surprised, actually, like the high school age, normally some college kids too, they're the most respectful, nicest people that come into the restaurant. They clean up after themselves for the most part. They're so nice. So nice. And they normally tip too. And they're just nice, okay? It's just nice to have a nice person. But it's the old Karens and the elderly, actually a lot of the elderly, and just like middle-aged moms. There's some guys, it's normally women though that I've noticed, are just awful, disgusting, mean, rude, nasty, crusty, dusty, musty, rusty, all of that. Disgusting people. And I think middle-aged women need to go and take a how to not be an a-hole before entering an establishment class. Round up all the Karens, sit them down, and teach them basic, like, please, thank you. Like, okay? Just, And, like, people, I hear it all the time in the restaurant, don't run your waitresses. Like, if they come to your table, tell them what you need. Like, get it all together. Don't tell them one thing, and then they come back, and then tell them another thing, and then they come back, and then tell them another thing. And then you go, and you literally leave, like, 20 cents on the table as a tip. Disgusting, Karen. I think this whole episode is dedicated to Karens, okay? Like, it's been a month. It's been a year. It's been a life, let me tell you. All right. Restaurant etiquette. Y'all need to learn it. There's nasty people. Some people are just so freaking nasty. Let's talk about it, okay? Gross. I don't even know, like, where to start, honestly. Just gross. There's nasty people that will, like, cough up their freaking lungs into a napkin and then just leave it on the table. And they're like, oh, like, that's your job. Like, where else am I going to put it? Like, you work in the restaurant. You get paid for, like, cleaning up after people. Like, it's your table. Like, you got to clean it. It's gross. Dude, like, it's nasty. Or like tissues, and they'll just leave on. We don't want that. We don't want it. It's disgusting, and that's probably why I'm sick right now, is one of you nasty little heckers out there left something on the table, and I had to get it off, because who else is gonna do it? So, like, thanks for that, nasty. We had people come and blow up a public restroom, and when I'm saying, like, blow up, I'm talking, like, disgusting, like, embarrassed, never show your face here ever again level. I understand, sometimes, like, the IBS hits, man, and you can't help it, but, like, oh my god, it's terrifying. Terrifying. We've also had, some people, this has happened multiple times. I don't know if it's just, like, the restaurant I worked at a couple different restaurants, so, like, everything I'm talking about, it's like a handful from, like, a bunch of different restaurants. But throwing up in a restaurant? If you don't feel good, first off, like, even from COVID, you should know this. If you don't feel good, don't go out don't go out. Or if you're eating and you're starting to like, wow, I really don't feel good, leave. Get the check, go. Don't sit there and then throw up on your table. Like, there was this lady that was coughing so hard and literally just like projectile everywhere. And she still comes back. What? Lady? Why? Oh my, I just can't understand. And then there's now every time somebody coughs in the restaurant, I'm like, oh, I'm staying away from that because I don't want to witness that again. It was awful. There's so many gross, nasty people out there. And I know there's people who are like, oh, if you don't like that, then like don't work there. If you're going to be nasty and if you're sick and you have all these germs, stay home. Like, I don't get it. It's, all right. Along with, gross, old men, you know, don't get me wrong. There's some sweethearts, like nice, sweet ones that come and they want to be your friend. And it's, aw, like they're cute. They're sweet. But then there are some nasty old men. The comments that come out of these men's mouths. How do you think that's okay? How do you think that's okay? Like, I was once bent over, wiping down a table, and there was comments made about, like, grabbing my butt in the restaurant. Like, what's that thing doing sticking out everywhere? Sir, I'm working. That's not appropriate. And also, you're old enough to be my grandpa. I didn't laugh, because, like, they think it's funny, you know? They'll make the comments, and they're like, ho, 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 ho. Like, it's not cute. I also walked past this table of a bunch of old men, and they were trying to guess how much I weighed and how much my coworkers weighed, and then they were talking about women that they dated, and they're like, oh, I would never date like a hefty girl and stuff like that. Ew. And you know what? I guarantee that no girl, no matter her weight or size, will ever want to date you if you make comments like that. Even though you're old, you're about to croak, but like, I hate old, gross men. I hate it. And then jokes that aren't funny. Oh my gosh. There's so many times. Like, I was sweeping once a dining room, and I had a man make a comment to me. I'm really just coming for men right now. I'm so sorry. But I was sweeping, and I had a man make a comment to me, and he was like, oh, are you going to ride away on that broom when you're done? Implying that I was like a witch, you know? And here's the thing. If it was like October season, okay, maybe. I see you're getting with like the spooky season festivities. But it wasn't. It was summer. He was just like saying I was a witch for no reason. And then he's like laughing to himself, and his wife is just like sitting there silent. Like, smack your husband for me. I don't know. There's so many like comments that they make that they think it's funny, and then they're laughing. And like, I know there's some nicer restaurant workers out there, and they'll just fake laugh at them. You know, I don't fake laugh anymore. I just like stare at them, and I'm like, that's the stupidest crap that I've ever heard. Like, what just came out? Are you serious? And then they'll be like, oh, like, smile, cheer up some. No, I don't want to cheer up because you're bothering me. Okay, what else do I got in this list? Ooh, this one. This happened at restaurants that I used to work at, and a lot at the current restaurant I'm at. So, table settings, it'll be like a napkin, and then fork, spoon, knife, you know, like sitting on your napkin, and it's like preset, ready to go. Why do people go and just take the napkin when they need an extra napkin? They'll take it out from under the setting and just leave like the fork, spoon, knife sitting on the table with no napkin, and not even their own table, and then they'll take the napkin back to... Just ask for extra napkins. Just ask. There's at least, like, 4 or 5 of us walking around on the floor. Like, just ask nicely, you know? Just ask nicely, and we'll give you some. But don't take it... it just bugs me so much, because then I'm like, where did that napkin go? Like, who set that wrong? Like, did I do that? I don't... And then it's never me. It's always a freaking customer. I hate that. Ooh, hate it so much. Another thing that, just read. People need to learn how to read. And I'm not talking about the menus, because there's some dumb questions on those too. But I'm talking about walking in the restaurant, and there is a sign, plain as day. I've had people walk into the sign, literally walk into the sign, knock the sign over, and it says, please wait to be seated. I had to move my microphone like away from that because I knew I was going to yell. Wait to be seated. Wait. What part of wait don't you understand? Just wait, okay? There will be line of people like out the freaking door, like busy, like it's bussin' in that restaurant. And people will walk past the line and look around for an open booth or table. Like, you're going to go seat yourself right now. You're going to cut this whole line of people because you think you are so special that you can go and sit down right now. Forget everybody else, right? It's your world and we're just living in it. Wait to be seated. If it says wait, it means wait for a purpose. And here's something that needs to be taught in this restaurant etiquette class. There's sections in restaurants, and you try to seat people so everyone gets like an equal amount of tables. That hopefully means an equal amount of tips. But then there's like some tippers that leave 2 pennies and think that they're doing God's work out there. And you can't even wait to be seated if you're not going to tip. All right, what else do I got? There's just so much complaining. Also, like, this whole episode is me complaining. But people in restaurants complain about everything. I'm sorry, but if you want, like, 5-star treatment, like, people to lay down a freaking rug for you to walk in on and then pick it up as soon as you're off of the rug, like, they want you carried to their freaking table, don't come to, like, small businesses like that or, like, chain restaurants. Go somewhere fancy if you want treated like that. Okay, like, we're going to be nice to you. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're not going to walk into a restaurant and they're going to be mean to you. But, like, I don't understand. These people want treated like they're royalty. And then they're going to, like, yell at me for not having enough napkins when they just sat down. And they don't even have a plate of food in front of them. I can't. All right. Snapping and clicking to get my attention or to get anyone's attention. How rude is that? Would you want someone sitting and like snapping at you and like clicking and like waving like a nut? Wait. Just wait your turn. People have no patience nowadays. Like, just wait. Take a breather. Sit down. It's not the end of the world. You're gonna be okay. Like, just chill. Chill out. Don't snap at me. What if I start snapping back at you? What if you're not ordering fast enough and I start, like, snapping and counting down? Like, you're not going to like that much, are you? No, I gotta take a sip of this water. I'm getting way heated up. And I'm just thinking about tomorrow. I gotta go into work, and it's going to be bad. I just know it's going to be bad. And then Black Friday, I work on Black Friday. This obviously is coming out after Black Friday. So, like, hey, I hope you survived past Mara. It's future Mara. Are we doing okay? We had someone come in a restaurant once that had a fake $20 bill. And it wasn't just like, ooh, you really had to, like, look and check it. No, this thing was off-centered. It was, like, paper thin, like, way thinner than, like, a normal dollar or a normal 20 would be. So thin, off-centered. And their excuse was, it's old. And, like, I do feel bad. It was, like, an elderly person doing this. But, like, what do you mean it's old? Like, it's not even centered. It doesn't matter how old money is. It's not going to be off-centered. I don't get it. And then they try to, like, fight us with it. That happened. We had a guy come in with a bat once, like a crazy lunatic. That I'm not going to tell the details about that because it was still kind of recent. That happened. That was fun. What else? Children. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of kids. And I'm really definitely not the biggest fan of kids when you bring your kid to a restaurant, screams its head off the whole time, which, like, I get, it happens, you know? But then the mess left behind from children, astronomical. Whoa. How does that even happen? You had, like, a bowl of soup. How is there so many crumbs? Like, where are the crumbs coming from? I feel like crumbs just fall out of children. Like, there's so many crumbs. And it's like, ew. And then, like, when things are sticky and wet, and I'm like, what is it? I'm so scared. Like, they had nothing that could cause this. I'm so scared. There was a kid that came in recently, and had a cup, I think it was like chocolate milk, spilled it 3 times. And I'm talking like there was a lid on it and everything, like a to-go cup, still managed to like break the cup. There was like this big gash on the side of the cup, like the kid stabbed it with a knife or something, and like the parents weren't even parenting, like they didn't care. They're letting their wild child come in here and spill milk everywhere and leave their crumbs everywhere and then touch everything, and then they're running through the restaurant and it's busy and I'm gonna trip over. I'm like, get your kid, dude. Ugh, children and crumbs. I can't. This one really gets me. So the restaurant that I work at currently changed its hours months ago. And I'm saying, like, it's already updated on Google. Like, it's updated on the website. There's signs everywhere. Like, right as you're walking in, bright green neon signs, like, saying, hey, new hours. So, like, you'd think after months, like, people would get the hint, right? No. We had a person come in, like, maybe 20, 30 minutes before closing. So, like, we'll sit you down, but, like, we'll let you know, like, hey, we're closing soon. So, like, you know, try not to move in while you're here. Like, we're closing and we all want to go home. And this person sits there an hour after closing and then finally is like, oh, are you guys closing? The lights were off. The floors were mopped. Everything was done. Every table was set. He was the only person in here, and all the employees are sitting up front, like at the bar, just like sitting, waiting, talking. You hear us say multiple times when we're closing, we went and sat you down and we're like, hey, like we're closing in like 25, you know, so like get something small and hurry, please. And then you sit there and eat an hour after closing. Can't count the drawer if you're still here. Can't like finish closing up if you're still here. Can't lock the door if you're still here. It's ignorant. If you know a restaurant's closing, like, I won't even go into a restaurant or a store or anything if it's an hour before close. I give the employees that hour to themselves because, they need it. They need it, okay? So why would you go in, like, 20 minutes before close and then sit there and there's no one else there? Doesn't that make you nervous? If I'm, like, in somewhere and there's not a lot of people and I'm by myself, I literally will Google what time they close so I'm not that person. Why? You're striving to be that person, and I hate it. Ooh, okay. This one's a little random. Getting ice. It doesn't seem to matter what restaurant I'm working at. Getting ice is always, like, scary or a challenge and very inconvenient. There's always large 5-gallon buckets involved. This one restaurant, I had to walk in a basement. It was like an old house, I think, and they like turned it into a restaurant and like added on. I don't know. It was really scary, but I had to walk down in the basement. I never knew where the lights were. I don't even know if they had lights. So it was dark, and I had this bucket, and I just had to go to this ice machine in the basement in the corner with this bucket and scoop it out and then carry it upstairs and then carry it up. Like, the setup of this place was really inconvenient, okay? It was like as soon as you came up the basement stairs, you were like right on the cook's line. And then you had to, like, try not to get run over. And, like, the cooks are scary. Definitely if they're, like, the tattooed ones. Like, they're throwing down. And you know it's going to be good food if they have tattoos. But, like, I was scared, you know. I was little. And this one was actually, like, one of my first jobs. So I was, like, 15, 16. Terrified. Oh, my cat looks so cute right now. Hello, friend. Anyway. So you come up the stairs right on the cook's line, and I have this giant 5-gallon bucket filled with ice, and I'm trying to, like, go through all of them and get to the little waitress station where the ice is, and then I pour it in, and then what do you know? It's not enough ice, and I have to go through the process, like, 3 more times. It's awful. Luckily now, the restaurant that I'm working at does not have a basement that I know of, and, the ice machine is, like, very strategically placed, so I won't get run over by cooks. And it's very nice. But there's still a bucket involved, and it's still heavy. And then, like, just trying to, like, maneuver around all the people. It's just a hassle, okay? I hate getting ice. I will wait until it's low enough and someone else does it so I don't have to get the ice. But sometimes I'm feeling generous, and I'll get the ice, and I hate it. Okay. So, because I was talking about cooks, I want to talk about how there is always, like, a cook or a dishwasher The dishwasher right now that I work with, I love him. He's like my work dad. He's great. He keeps me in line. He shares snacks with me. What a guy, you know. But in other restaurants that I've worked at, there's always like a cook or a dishwasher that like you want to try to avoid, but they're also going to like hype you up. You're going to walk in hungover. Your hair's going to be everywhere in like a messy bun. You're struggling to stay alive, but that cook is like, "Dang, you look so good today." It's always a cook, you know? And you know, if the cook has tattoos, like I said before, if the cook has tattoos, that food is going to be bussin'. It's going to be fabulous. There was a meme on Facebook that, I sound like an old person. There's a meme on Facebook that one of my coworkers showed me, and it said, "I hate when I'm out to eat at a fancy restaurant and the food tastes like the cook doesn't have tattoos." What a letdown. Okay, so I think I'm done with my rant, but I did find Reddit stories. Actually, it's on BuzzFeed, but it's from Reddit. Everybody uses Reddit for their content, you know? And so here's a list of the pettiest reasons a customer has sent food back to the kitchen, and they are very petty. So number 1. My favorite is when they find their own hair in their food. Girl with long blonde hair sent her food back once because she found a long blonde hair in her food. I am a male with short brown hair, and the entire kitchen staff are Hispanic males with short black hair. It was amusing to say the least. Number 2. I had a group of 10 demand that all their food be compensated because one person found a piece of fuzz in their food. I get wanting the one dish redone or taken off, but all of them? The worst part is the owner did comp their entire group food and drinks. The owner is too nice. If I owned a restaurant, I would be like cutthroat. Nobody would want to come in there because the owner would have been an evil, mean witch, apparently, according to that guy that watched me sweep the dining room. A customer sent it back because it tasted too much like garlic. He asked us to add extra garlic, even though it's not in the recipe. We definitely have people ask for their toast like extra crispy or something, and then we'll send it back because it's burnt. So what do you want normal crispy then, or do you want it burnt? Like, I don't get it. One time, the super racist lady at the place I work at now asked who had made her meal one night before eating. I told her, and she gave it right back to me and said, "I don't eat meals made by Spanish speakers." Ew. I hate that. I don't like people like that. Gross. They honestly should have kicked her out. 5. I didn't know the fish chowder would be so fishy. This was in Nova Scotia. Fish to us is like beef to Texans. Imagine ordering fish and then the fish is fishy. Hate when that happens. I'm like not even surprised by some of these because I'm like, yep, that sounds like working in a restaurant. And if you guys read these and are like surprised, welcome to the light. This is what it's like. Number 6. As a line cook / aspiring chef for 11 years, I have, on more than 3 occasions, had people send their steak prime rib back to the kitchen with the request for us to cut it up for them. Okay, so you're a child. Got it. Number 7. This lady wanted her steak butterflied, which means that the grill cook... What? Which means that the grill cook slices the steak a certain way and tosses it on the grill and cooks it to the temp you want. Anyway, lady wants it butterflied, no biggie. Once I brought it out, she flips her crap and was genuinely so mad that her steak did not, in fact, look like an actual butterfly. I didn't even know what that meant. So if someone asked me to do that, I would have been like, what? Is that even real? Number 8. 2 people ordered blackened steaks and sent them back because we didn't know what blackened meant. If only there was someone they could have asked. Oh, man. Number 9. Had this older couple come in with their grandson. The lady ordered a steak, and when all the food came out, her steak was overcooked. So she asked for it to be recooked, a medium well steak. Had no issues with that. So I come back with the recooked steak and put it down, and she's like, everyone is now done eating. I'm not eating that. So she took it back and didn't eat anything else. Okay, this is hilarious because this exact same thing almost happened in the restaurant that I'm at now. Someone threw a fit because apparently she didn't ask for veal parm. She asked for chicken parm or eggplant parm, something like that. I think it was she asked for eggplant and got veal. But, like, she definitely did not ask for eggplant. Like, veal was written down. Like, it was, she said veal. She said veal, and she wanted eggplant. So, it messed up on her end, but whatever. Took it back, got her new veal. And then, when we brought it back, she was like, well, my husband's done eating, so can I just have a box? I'm not eating it. I'll just take it to go. Like, sorry that your husband ate without you because you're being a picky Karen. Like, what? Number 10, the server dropped the food off at the table, and 20 minutes later, they had it sent back because it was cold. Get off your phone, and then maybe it wouldn't be cold. That's the thing. Like, if that amount of time goes back and then it's cold, like, yeah, that's probably a you problem, you know? Number 11, I was asked to garnish the plate and make it look cute so I can post a picture on Instagram during an afternoon rush, or just put a filter on it. They wanted an oval plate instead of a circular plate. That used to be me at the Golden Corral, honestly. If my plate wasn't yellow, I'd have to, like, search through all the stacks of plates to find a yellow plate. I don't know. I really liked yellow, and now I really don't like yellow that much. Weird. Okay. 13. I've had men send drinks back to the bar because they wanted it in a less girly glass or a drink with a less girly color. You can bet your butt we all made fun of that person merciless in the service aisle. As you should, yeah. All right, and finally, number 14. A while back, this guy ordered sausage, gnocchi, and wanted to add 6-ounce salmon. After he finished nearly all of it, he called me over to complain that it was a terrible mixture and wanted a regular dish. I laughed at him because, well, I thought it was a joke. There's definitely been times where people say things to me and I'm laughing because I literally think that they're joking. I actually had an ex-boyfriend once that I thought he was joking about something that he got mad at, and the man was dead serious, but I thought it was a joke. All right. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for letting me vent and listening. If you guys haven't yet, please give this podcast a rate on... If you guys haven't, please give this podcast a rate on your streaming platform and follow the Instagram page at _ThoughtsPodcast. And I will be back next week for a new episode. Bye, guys.